project, I obtained the video material from film production students. They sent me a picture log of the short-length horror film that they produced, and they asked me to create some soundscape for it. So basically, the sound of the film itself is not fully mixed yet. That's basically what they probably working on right now, as the only thing they asked me to provide is some soundscapes then they could mix into the sound. I had a few concepts regarding this project and how to make it work. At the beginning I thought about using some pianos on and maybe some strings on more quiet sections, but after consulting with the producer, we settled down on more of a synthetic sound and a bit more of the tracks. So basically, what I was asked for is create just soundscapes that could go under the dialogues and under some action scenes that after I do them, then film production students would supply it with their own mixing and their own sound effects. So basically I left few spaces in the film without any soundtrack underneath them. This section here in the kitchen, I decided that I'm not gonna use any sound underneath it because the sound that comes from the video itself got that kind of ASMR kind of feel, especially cutting of the chicken, and then the sound of the stove, if I can hit it properly, should be somewhere over here. Yeah, there it is. The sound of the stove also. So I decided to leave it and not put anything underneath, and then keep that simple motif that goes at the beginning, carry it throughout the next scene, and then again leave a little bit more of a quiet space during the beginning of this dialogue. Then there is only to a certain extent I worked with where is the word, with like the key moments in the film. I got some tags over here, but then I decided to just I just stopped using them and just work it by eye. So this is the first scene where the new motif is kicking in during the argument. Obviously my laptop is overheating, so it's probably not gonna look smooth, but there is that scene where the medallion is raised, and this is the moment where more intense music starts to kick in. This is this part over here, and it carries on throughout the whole argument that they make until somewhere around, I think it will be here. This frame was really difficult to work with just because of the way that the sound was mixed on film itself, so I just decided to leave it for film production students to sort it out the way they see fit. Then we got another scene in the bathroom, for which I also kept even though clip doesn't suggest it, I left a tiny bit of quiet space at the beginning here. At the ending of this clip, I left a little bit of a quiet space, and then the new motif is kicking in for the scene of him praying and being all spastic about the fact that he drowned his wife. Then we got the last motif, which is next to the last motif, which is some pads. The only thing that goes on here is EQs, and I'll explain in a minute. And then we got the final motif, which is more, I don't want to say chilled out because it's not, it's just more low key, as it's the release of tension, but still it keeps. What I wanted to do is not to put a lot of the sound as the main character is humming a melody, which I thought if I'm just gonna put something subtle below, it may work really great together, and then when the film production students will mix it, it will sound very, very good together. So in terms of instruments, I decided that, well, if they ask me for soundscapes, there's only one plugin that I can use, and for me it's Expand, because I just looked for some good working presets, and just did small tweaks to them in the panels over here. So basically, the reason that I decided to use it is the fact that you can layer multiple instruments together as one instrument, and that gave me basically an ability to have what I like to call one button soundtrack, where no matter which note I'm gonna play, it's gonna sound relatively good as long as I stay relatively in key. So this is what I did for this. There is a kick that when this thing starts, there is a kick that hits in some pads and marimbas. I made sure that I switched off the music box because I didn't really like the sound of it. It didn't really give a good vibe for the scene going on, so I just switched it off. I used only those 3 layers. So basically what I tried to do is not to build too much tension within those first scenes, and then keep it empty during this first dialogue, and then actually start to slowly kick in this part over here. How would I develop it further? So if this would be only my work and I would have to do all the mixing and everything, obviously I would include more sound effects, which film production students would apply, and I would probably experiment with going into different direction. But as I was working with the film production students, I had to keep in mind what they expect me to do in this project. Yeah, so basically, as I said, in terms of synchronizing it with time, I just kept an eye on the key scene. So like there's the reveal of the talisman here, and then there is a scene where the woman is opening her eyes, revealing that she's not actually dead. This is where this clip starts. Yep. So that would be everything in terms of this, and I sent it as 2 clips, separated, but I worked on it as a one big project. I separated this in 2 parts, probably excluding some scenes, and submitted it via Moodle.